Hello, my little friends. Today we need to talk about something that is very serious and scary. This will seem like the scariest thing you have ever faced. Even the monster in the closet was easy compared to this. This monster is called CPS. It stands for Child Protective Services, and that is not true. They are here because you are worth money to them. Let me ask you something. Has your parents ever hurt you real bad? Do they lock you in your room for days and don't feed you? Have they ever made you do naughty things with them? If your answer is no, then we need to continue this lesson. If the answer is yes, stay silent and go to the nearest adult you think is safe and tell them you need help. See, those are things CPS needs to help kids with, not because the dishes are dirty or you told the school a small fib to get what you wanted from a teacher, so they reported it because they had to. You have to be very careful about what you say at home. Lying is very bad, and telling a small one to get some extra time on your homework, or because your parents grounded you by taking away your phone, can lead to severe consequences that can change your life forever. You need to pay attention to this video and understand the real truth of what is going on. Believe me, your parents need your help. They love you and don't want you to go anywhere. You don't either. I'm sure, so ready, pay attention. Sometimes CPS gets worried about a child. Maybe someone told them the child is hurt or not being cared for. This could be a teacher, a friend, or a family member. CPS will visit the child's home to see what is happening. They want to talk to the child and the family to understand the situation. When CPS or Child Protective Services receives a report, they take it very seriously because they have to, by law, respond to a call in about the abuse. They say the primary goal is to ensure the safety and well-being of the child, but we know now that they need us kids to keep the operation moving, so they have made it a lot harder to keep the kids at home. They try to remove you for any reason at all. You'll hear them say imminent danger. This means that things are so bad at your house, if you don't get out of there, you're going to die. Do you think that you're safe in your home? Or are you worried that you might die at any moment? If that's the truth, you're scared for your life, turn this off and go to the nearest adult you trust and ask for help. Okay, moving along. This means they might snoop around and ask you trick questions about your parents' daily life, their feelings, and their experiences at home with you. They might also look for signs of neglect or abuse. CPS workers are trained professionals who are there to get a bonus to adopt you. Do not tell them a thing about your parents. As a matter of fact, do not say anything except "I want my parents," or "I want a policeman to stop you from questioning me." You need to say, "I am using my Fifth Amendment right at this time. Do not ask me any questions without my parents present." They know they can twist your words or interpret what you say different from what you mean, and they will do that. They will pretend to be your friend, your mom or dad's friend, anything to get you comfortable and begin spilling family secrets. Do not fall for those tricks. All you have to remember is, I am using my Fifth Amendment right, and they have to stop questioning you. They will lie and threaten you, but don't believe it. They're trying to scare you. But you watch this video and you are aware of this thing called the Constitution. When CPS visits, you have rights. You can ask for a trusted adult to be there with you. This could be a grandparent, teacher, or another adult you feel safe with. You don't have to tell the CPS worker anything. This is because you have rights too. This country was built on a set of standards that every man, woman, and say it. Child get to enjoy as free Americans. The Constitution has a whole bunch of rules that the government has to respect or they are breaking the law, and that's a whole other video. What's important here is a couple of articles specific to what is going on in your home and how you, by way of the Constitution, can help your parents fight this evil CPS. First Amendment, freedom of speech. You are allowed to say to whom whatever, whenever you want. Of course, we do have respect and morals, dignity and consequences. So we don't always speak our mind to certain people, and it's why there's a saying that goes, there is a time and place. When CPS comes, like we said earlier, you say you insert your Fifth Amendment and we will get back to that. But CPS will say you can't talk about your parents or ask questions about what's going on. They are wrong. Your right to free speech is protected under that amendment. So if you need answers from certain people and CPS says no, you tell them your First Amendment right protects you from their censorship. They will bellyache, but they will get over it. Remember, comma. You have the right to express your thoughts and emotions freely. If you don't understand something, it's perfectly fine to ask questions. Fourth Amendment. Listen closely, kids. Unless CPS has a piece of paper in their hand with a wet signature, that means the judge really signed it, and you can see the ink separation. Don't worry about that right now. You just need to know that they need a warrant, a real piece of paper with all the names of your family on it, and a bunch more info your parents will need to look at. Don't let them in. If your parents aren't home, don't even answer the door. If you forget that part, it's okay, just don't forget, "Can I see your warrant?" That's all you need to say, and again, what are they not doing? Coming through your door. Fifth Amendment, and then this one, this in a nutshell, says you have the right to be quiet. You don't have to say anything and won't be in trouble. You're protected by this document known as the Constitution. Always remember, your voice matters. You are not alone in this process. There are people who care about you and want to support you. Don't hesitate to speak up and share your feelings. What we have gone through today doesn't begin to touch the information plot DNY and your parents when the CPS monster comes to take you away. If you practice isolation met etiabusins, you heard today a CPS investigation will be over in a jiffy, and you'll be back to being a family in no time. It is very important you understand that these people will not help Yopu. They will hurt you, take you away and put you out into a world your parents have protected you from. You'll learn more.
They are taking our kids every day. I shout them in and no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, God damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up like dim tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out, CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are old Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop it.
What's up, everybody? It is the Punisher, but we got the special guest tonight. She'll be right with us, I'm sure. I saw her back there. Let's see here. Oh, the man in the home is there, or she grew a beard, one or the other. What's happening, guys?
Howdy, howdy.
All right, we've got Althina with us, guys, tonight.
Oh, we're both here.
All right, perfect. So what's up? Let's make it big. Let's get big. Right, let me get this out of here. Boom, boom. So, what do we want to talk about? Your night, your show. What do you got? Not to put you on the spot or anything, but you've got all kinds of different things to talk about than we normally do. So, what do we got? What's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Tomorrow is my oldest 17th birthday, and I haven't been allowed to see her since November of 2022.
Ugh. Jesus. So she's been gone since she was 14, huh?
Yep.
That's a tough one. Hate those holidays. That's why we don't celebrate them anymore.
Yep.
No such thing as holidays or birthdays or any of that stuff. They just go by.
Exactly. Bah, freaking humbug.
And isn't it terrible that they take that away from you? Like, that's how powerful these assholes are, is that they're able to take away from you, like, this stuff that,
all the traditions.
Traditions. Stuff. They're able to just, in a whim, just, it's gone for you. You know, like, it gets me so mad because I think about it, you know, like at Christmas time, and I'm like, oh man, I want to, but I don't, you know, like, because it's just going to be more upsetting to do it. You know, like I used to love decorating and doing all that stupid stuff, and, you know, but it was for what? It was for the kids, it wasn't for us, you know, so who are you really going to do it for? It's just, it sucks. Absolutely sucks. I see my cloud come by too. So it's just a terrible thing. And see that not only do they get to get your kid, they do that too. You know, so all the way around they get you. But it's going to come to a stop sooner than later, I hope. How many kids do you have that are involved in this?
11.
Oh, wow. So
we
there's
have
a couple.
7 under the age of 18.
Yeah.
And my 3 oldest were taken away by my ex-husband, not CPS, by the judge in GAL, because I spoke up about 13 years of domestic violence.
Yeah, that's what they
so
do.
The judge told me in so many words that you are the problem and you clearly need more help than you're getting, when I reiterated that I have been investigated 8 times by the state on criminal levels for the allegations made by my ex-husband and my oldest daughter, with the coaching of my ex-husband, where the mental health providers called me saying, no, there's coaching going on. I'm like, oh, really? I already told you that.
Right. You didn't figure that out.
So they were shocked. They told me that they thought I was just a hysterical postpartum mom, because our battle started when Daniels and my son was 4 days old.
Really? So that's the beginning of everything.
Yep, yep.
And how come?
And then
What struck out at that point?
Daniel's ex contacted my ex to join forces and started
Lord.
a case in Nevada against Daniel for their daughter.
Oh my gosh.
And her only witness was my ex-husband.
So a bunch of jealousy there, huh?
He doesn't know me from nothing.
Yep.
Wow. I can't believe that people can't see through that. How do these courts and everything else not see through that when, oh, it's my ex and your ex and they're against us and we're happy and they're not? Like, hello, you know? Did they get together too, or were they just like together in a fight?
I don't know. Hopefully just in a fight because but we both left abusive relationships.
Right. I guess it'd be kind of funny if they hooked up too then, right? But so how do they teamed up against you guys just because they were pissed?
Yep.
They made a bunch of bogus claims?
Yep.
All my ex did was
they said that I was abusive and neglectful because I was a full-time homeschooling mom.
You seem like you're pretty abusive.
I know. I coordinate field trips where we have the Alaska Sea Life Center up here. And it is one of my favorite places to go because when I was in 3rd grade, my daddy took me on an overnight field trip there. So we got to stay overnight by the sea lions. So that's like a major core memory for me. So I've coordinated those field trips as a homeschooling mom so other families can experience it.
Right.
So, you know, so horrible.
Right. Terrible.
We took daily side-by-side trips. My divorce present to myself was the side-by-side, the fully loaded side-by-side at Bass Pro.
Oh, nice.
The windscreen, the doors, you know, the whole shebang.
Right.
So our family normal routine was we would drive the 10 miles down the trails to the Circle K gas station.
Oh, nice.
Because in the summer they have the sip and save where it's, you know, one set price and you get a drink every single day.
Hell yeah.
So we'd be side by side tripping every single day, just having fun.
Yeah, you're very terrible.
So my ex-husband told the court and our daughters, the new medical providers, because he changed all of their providers, that I only fed our children fast food and gas station food.
Oh,
yes. No, you better come with some pretty solid proof of that because a daily side-by-side trip to get a coffee and a slushie is definitely different than only feeding them gas station food and fast food.
And even if you were doing it, that doesn't matter. They're at least getting fed. You know what I mean? Like that's it on the eyes of the courts. So
yep. But I'm the mom that we raised our own pig, we raise our own sheep, we raise our own goat, we raise our own meat birds and egg birds. We're part of a farm share where we get raw milk.
That's a lot of freaking work.
It is. But it's what we want. Yeah. We bought all of our animals so we could start our homestead.
Right.
We were in the process of moving to buy the property that we wanted. It was 46 acres so that we could start our homestead. We bought our animals and we had to freezer camp all of our animals because the shit show started.
So what did you do with the animals?
They all went into the freezer.
Oh man, that sucks. So you would have to rebuy them. You had to rebuy them all over again, or you have to?
We will have to. Right now, we're in a motorhome, not on property where we can have them.
So because these guys want to be assholes, because you guys left and started your own life together, they've ruined your entire what you guys were planning on doing, the thing for your kids, the whole 9 yards. This beautiful life that you guys were creating for them is ruined because these guys want to be assholes.
Yep, because the life that I had planned and talked about for 10 years before I left, this is what I want. These are my goals. Right. Yep. Because my goals in life have been really simple, and it might be stupid to other people, but they're mine.
They're yours. That's all that matters.
Serve my country. I'm an Army veteran.
There you go. Thank you for your service too, buddy.
Oh, it was an honor to serve. But be a wife, be a mom, and to have a farm. Those are my life goals.
And you were so close.
So close. And now my 2-year-old is out. Want to say hi? Say hi. Hi, Mama. Hi, Danny. Hi, Mama. So this is what it started it off.
That's where it begins.
Yep, he's the troublemaker.
He looks like he's miserable.
So miserable.
Looks like he's treated terribly and everything else. So how do your older kids? What made them turn on you guys?
So my oldest daughter, she had been excited about my entire pregnancy. She loved being a big sister, and she was excited that she was getting a brother. Like the 6 weeks before I finally had him, she's telling my belly every single Friday before she goes to her dad, "Don't you dare be born while I'm gone. I'll be back Sunday. You can be born then."
So she was all excited about this.
Yep. She was the first person other than Daniel, the midwife, and I to hold our son. Sorry. I hemorrhaged, and so I had to be watched. And the midwife said, "Hey, I need to go do paperwork. Are you okay sitting with Mom?" And she looked around. And yep. And as soon as the midwife walked out of the room, she took off her shirt, climbed in bed, and took her brother from me so she could have her skin-to-skin time.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Because that's what she did with her other 2 sisters, too, when they were born.
Wow.
Our almost 10-year-old and almost 8-year-old.
So she loved it.
She was the first to hold them. And it was skin-to-skin immediately.
Wow.
So Friday morning, because I had him on Thursday night, Friday morning, our tradition after I have a baby is to go to IHOP. It's the first meal that I want.
This is great. Like all these little rewards at the end of your traditions. It's awesome.
Yeah. So we went to IHOP and everyone's like, "Oh, that's just a little baby." We're like, "Yeah, he's not even 12 hours old yet." And she's like, "Yeah, this is my Danny."
This is his first IHOP. It's awesome.
Yep. So everyone's like, "Wait, what? You just had him and you're here? You're crazy. I wouldn't be leaving bed." And I'm like, traditions are traditions.
Yeah, you don't break a tradition. That's right.
Nope.
That's freaking amazing.
We went to IHOP.
She loved having babies. She loved having baby sisters and everything else.
Yeah.
She loved it.
She did. We went to Target, and Daniel and Ariana would watch animes together. I know nothing about animes. I know we as a family started watching one called Inuyasha, and I still couldn't tell you anything about it, and then I think he's part fox or something. I don't know.
Right. I agree with you on that stuff.
But she was all about it, and Daniel's like, "Yeah, sure. Let's watch these." So they were watching that. So she found 2 shirts for both of them that matched for Father's Day, because it was Father's Day weekend. And so his daughter was here for the summer, and they went to go look at baby stuff. My oldest was with me, and she goes, "Can I look?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." She goes, "Mom, look." So she picked 2 shirts for them that matched.
Yeah.
And she like hid them in the cart and he's like, "What's that?" And she goes, "Don't worry about it."
Right. All excited.
And so, we pay for him, and he's like, okay, side eye is like, "What's going on?" And so we pay for it, and she hands them to him. And he's all excited looking. He's like, "Oh, these are so cool." I think one was Teen Titans or something like that.
Right.
And so we got back home, putting stuff away, and they both happened to change into the same one, which made me laugh. So we go to the visitation drop-off, and it's hot. It's middle of June. They're playing outside the car. I'm just sitting with my door open because I just gave birth. I'm not standing out and playing.
Right.
And my ex shows up, and he is just lit up because they're wearing the same shirt and they're playing and goofing off. So he peels out of the parking lot, which is his style. And when they came back Sunday, we had pizza because that was usually what they had Sundays because they like pizza. I'm not a pizza fan. I admit it. I'm not a pizza fan.
It's my favorite, for sure.
Daniel too. He could
Best
live
thing
off
on
of
earth, pizza being created. Absolutely.
Yep. He could live off pizza, and the girls
I do. I certainly
when
do.
he moved
Absolutely.
in, they're like, we're getting pizza once a week? Yeah.
Once a week's not enough.
Yep. So Daniel was making pizza, and he came in to check on Danny and I. He refilled my water cup. And as he's walking out, he opens the door, and we see my oldest with an axe above her head.
What?
With her sister's cornered and crying. So Daniel was closer than I was. So he swiftly moved into action. He disarmed her, swatted her butt one time, and said, "What in the hell do you think you're doing?
Right.
What made you think that was a good idea?" Well, we're just playing. That is not playing.
Right. No, that's a deadly weapon.
I got assault charges for that, by the way.
Yeah, he's being brought up on assault charges for that, but in a civil case, not a criminal case. Go figure. The next day was Monday, and my middle daughter with my ex, she had hurt her toe at her dad's house. She had been running and hit her toe on a table or chair, something. And so she's hobbling, "Mom, I know I broke it. I broke it. Okay, let's take you to urgent care for them to x-ray your toe, for them to tell you either it's broken and they're going to duct tape it to the toe next to it, or that it's bruised and it's just going to hurt for a bit." So I took her in, and we're leaving there, and Daniel calls me, and he says, "How long are you going to be?" And I hear my oldest screaming like I've never heard before in the background. I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, I asked her to pack her desk 10 times, and the 10th time I did the dad sweep, and this is what I've been listening to for the last 3 minutes. When are you going to be home? I'll be home in about 20 minutes because I'm just leaving. And she's just screaming. Have her sit outside, and I will talk to her.
Never ever has she acted like this.
Never.
Right.
Ever. And so she's screaming in the background, "I hate you. I hate Mom. I hate Dad. I hate everyone. I just want to die. Why can't I just die? Why won't you let me die?" Going off.
Wow.
I've never heard or seen my kid this way before. So, what is going on? So he says, "Hey, Mom says go sit on the porch. She'll talk to you when she gets home." So I hear the door open and close, and I don't hear her. Okay, well, I just turned on to Vine, so I'll be home soon. I called about 5 minutes later, giving her time to cool off. And I said, "Hey, can you put her on the phone so I can try to figure out what's going on?" "Yeah, sure, no problem." I hear the door open and silence. And he goes, "Hold on." More silence. I'm like, what's going on? Like the silence feels like it's forever.
Right.
She's not here. What? Yeah, I told her to sit on the porch, and she's not here. I just walked around the house. She's not here. So I freak out. I'm like, what do you mean my child is not there? Where is my daughter?
Right. Where did she just go? That was just there 2 minutes ago.
So he tells his daughter, "Hey, I need to walk across the street real quick to see if she went to the store. I'm going to lock you and my youngest daughter inside. So I'll be right back. Okay?" And she goes, "Yeah. Is everything okay?" "Yeah, I need to go find her and see where she is, because she's not outside." So he locks the door and he walks across the street. We're on the phone the whole time. And I'm like, what do you mean she's gone out?
Right.
She
I
was
mean, you
just
are
like,
in Alaska. Fair enough, like you are in Alaska, so things can happen out there that doesn't happen anywhere else, which I'm sure is what's making your heart pound even more.
yep, we got bear and moose. They're real things, you
And
know.
eagles and yeah, you have big stuff that can take right.
Yep. So he gets over to the store and he says, "Yep, she's at the customer service desk." Um, they come over to him and they're like, "Hey, you can't be doing this here. You guys need to leave." He's like, "Yep, not a problem. Hey, mom's on the phone." She says, "Get home." And they tell him again, the employees tell him again, "You guys need to go. This cannot be going on in here." He says, "Yep." He reaches over, hangs up the phone, and they start walking out. I get home maybe 3 minutes after they do, and she's in the driveway just screaming, still just going off. What is going on? And so, "I hate you. I hate Daniel. I hate Dad. I hate everyone. I didn't ask for this. I hate all of you. I just want to die. Why can't you let me die?" I'm like, "You've never acted like this. What is going on? Talk
Right.
to me. I hate you. I didn't want any of this." So she starts screaming like this soul-wrenching scream as she is biting her arm like she's trying to take a chunk out of it. And I don't know what to do. I'm trying to get her to calm down. And so out of desperation, I slapped her one time on the face
Yeah.
to try to break the hysterics.
Right.
It worked.
Right.
She's like, "You're not biting yourself. You're not screaming. What is going on, sis?" "I didn't want any of this." Okay, so then I get a call from the state troopers. "This is Trooper J. I'm getting a call of domestic violence. What's going on?" I tell him exactly what's been going on the last 24 hours, like not even 24 hours. And he's like, "Really?" "Yeah." He goes, "Okay, her provider recommended an ER hold. I recommend you follow through with that." Because I called her mental health provider. And I'm like, "I don't know what to do." And he's like,
Right.
"At this point, you need to take her into the ER for a med hold." Okay, so I tell her, "Hey," he says, "that I need to take you in for a med hold." "I don't want to go. I didn't want any of this." I understand that there are consequences for your actions, and your actions have led to all of us being very concerned. And this is now what needs to happen. So I tell my ex, "I've been advised to take her to the ER." "No, you're not. I'm on my way to get her." I'm like, "If you show up at my house, I'm going to have you arrested.
Right.
First of all, you're not allowed to have my address."
Right.
So I get another call from the troopers. "Hey, I understand this is essentially harassment by cop, and you can absolutely tell me to F off, and I fully understand. But with how many times he has called in, my supervisor would like to know if you are okay with me stopping by to lay eyes on her to make sure she's okay." "Yeah, absolutely. That's fine. We're currently waiting for somebody to come get the other girl so that I can take her into the med hold because I have 4 other kids."
Right. It's not
You
easy.
know, we're in the process of moving. This is a mess.
There's a lot of shit's going on. Right.
And so he shows up like 2 minutes after my friend leaves getting the other girl. And he goes, "Are you okay with me talking with her?" "Absolutely." So he takes her to the side of the house. We're over by the car in the side-by-side. And we can't hear anything they're saying, but, that's fine.
Right. Interesting. That's good.
She goes to the back of the side-by-side. We walk back over to the trooper when you're done. And he says, "Definitely keep your plans to take her into the ER. Why don't you have a domestic violence protective order?" Because I've been denied every single time I've asked. Okay, well, here's what I can do. I can put a criminal trespass on him. I said, "What does that mean?" if he shows up at your address, I will personally show up and arrest his ass. Cool. Yes, please. He said, and I'm going to do one more. I'm going to tell him that if he interferes with you getting help for your daughter, I will show up and I will arrest his ass. Thank you. So I'm at the ER with her until midnight. I'm like, at this point, I have 4 other kids and a husband I got to take care of. They haven't eaten. It's midnight. I have a newborn in the car.
Right. Everybody needs to be fed and taken care of. It's not just all about that. Right.
And so it's like, am I allowed to leave her here because she's only 14, or do I need to have somebody else come and sit with her so I can take the other kids home? They're like, oh no, she's fine. Well, a friend of mine went and sat with her anyway. And my ex showed up. And so my friend left to go to McDonald's to get my oldest she wanted chicken nuggets. So she went to go get her chicken nuggets. The next morning, when I got to the hospital at 7 a.m., I was informed that there was an OCS case opened up. Oh, okay. Why? Well, there were allegations of abuse. Okay. Do you have the number and name of whoever I need to get in contact with? So they gave me her name and number, and I called her and I said, hi, this is Athena Charbonneau. I understand you have a case opened up, and how can I help you, pretty much?
Right. What can we do here?
This is not the first time that I've had allegations of abuse, because 3 days after my ex-husband was notified that it was going to be a domestic violence litigated divorce, his stepmom called in an OCS report that I had apparently punched my oldest daughter in the face.
Jesus almighty. Have these people met you? Like, do they know who you are? Because I've seen you for 32 minutes, and I feel like you're the best mom on earth. Like, what the hell? There's not a bit of violence in you.
Well, I was a kickboxer, and I did hand-to-hand bottoms in the military, and my dads were wrestlers and martial artists. If I were going to hit someone, you're going to know. There's a reason I never fought back my ex when he laid hands on me, because I knew I'd be in a jumpsuit. Even if it's defending myself, I'd be in a jumpsuit. And my kids didn't need that. They needed their mom.
Right.
So I was like, okay, where's the proof that I've ever hit her? Especially punched her in the face. Seriously?
Right.
Her job would be better. There would be headgear. So those allegations were found to be not substantiated. They recommended a domestic violence protective order. They recommended supervised visitations for my ex-husband. They had concerns with the girls with my ex-husband. And then I was accused of talking bad about him around the girls. I'm like, I don't like talking about him at all. So when I do talk about him,
that's not an issue.
Yeah, I was like, if I do talk about him, it's with my mental health providers, because I have 4 of them, trauma trained specialists. One of them is on here right now. I got the message saying, so she's one of the intimate partner domestic violence coordinators with the VA. Well, she was. She's not anymore, but she's still. That's what she does. So it's been a fun shit show.
Right.
So with the allegations, they also put allegations where Daniel was giving my oldest marijuana capsules.
Oh, okay.
Because we do use THC. But when I started using THC in 2020, my ex-husband came back to the house because I was living in a separate bedroom. And he's like, oh yeah, I told them that you started toking, and so if I ever popped hot, it was clearly because you put something in my food. And Amazon, bag.
Right.
So I got a combination locking bag. And I said, okay, well, if she can tell me what the combination is, I might guess that she'd ever snuck something, but I'm going to call bullshit on the
Yeah.
capsule because I bought 2 10-packs. One of them still has 10, the other has 9.
So no one had anything at all.
Daniel had 1 before going on a plane to Nevada.
Right. So
I knew exactly where they all were. And so my former attorney asked, well, why don't you have a GAL? What is a GAL? Well, that's somebody who speaks in the court for the children. How do we get that then?
right.
Because
How do we need one of those apparently, right?
I'm not allowed to. So we apply for a GAL. They finally grant a GAL, and the GAL comes and meets the 2 younger daughters who she specifically brought in for. And we had her report thrown out day 1 of the trial because her very first opening is, I did not take anything that she said into consideration. I did not take anything that the other 2 had to say into consideration whatsoever. She
Losers.
didn't even interview Daniel, but she interviewed Daniel's ex,
Right.
my ex's new wife,
Mhm.
their household, and our daughters.
We got a
Yep.
report thrown out,
Yep.
and yet she still will not be removed from the case. They won't
Yep.
let her be removed.
We've requested
Yeah.
she be
Oh, I
removed
know all about
from the case for bias and all that. And I keep getting told, I am the problem. I am high conflict. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you guys are supposed to follow facts
The
Mhm.
law.
and the law, and you haven't done that
Right.
at all.
Mhm.
You've literally shamed and blamed me for speaking up. I have a traumatic brain injury from repeated strangulation. The youngest daughter with my ex is a product of SA.
Oh, very nice.
He got back from that deployment to divorce papers and everything being packed up. He asked to take our oldest to Texas to see his family. Our middle daughter had severe food intolerances and allergies, so we have to be very careful with her food. I did
Right.
not have enough food on hand for him to just take her right then. I needed time to be able to gather everything, farm share and fresh eggs and all that.
Yeah.
And I was processing a moose at the time because I'm in Alaska and I have
What a sight this must have been. I'm just picturing it in my head. You got an apron on. There's freaking moose everywhere.
Oh, my daddy and I were at the kitchen table. I had this huge granite kitchen table, and my daddy and I had the meat grinder and tubs and tubs and tubs
Yep.
of moose just grinding it up.
That's awesome.
So, I was like, I can bring her down
I
in
can
about a
see
week.
why they would think that you might be a little bit crazy, but go on.
Yeah. So we gathered all the food that she would need. And I took her down to Texas to see the family because they absolutely deserve to see her. She absolutely deserves to see them. They absolutely deserve to have more than just a phone call relationship.
Right.
And things happened at my former mother-in-law's house that the youngest daughter came about.
Unbelievable.
And I did all the things to not be, and she was meant to be.
Mhm.
So it was very hard for me.
Did you find out there?
No, I found out after I came back, and I'm begging him just sign these papers, sign these papers, sign these papers, and just let us move on and be happy.
Yeah.
And then I was trapped.
Mhm.
So that was hard. But she's an absolute snuggabug. She's the, you all have your love languages, right? And her primary love language is physical touch. She just wants to be held.
Yeah.
Like she's 7, almost 8, and when I do get to have visitations with her, she wants the baby carrier and she wants up on my back.
Right.
She doesn't care, and I don't care. I'm like, okay,
Right.
up you
Right.
go.
Right. Absolutely. So how much do you get to see them?
I haven't been allowed to see them since December
You haven't
30th.
seen any of them? You haven't seen any of them? Wow.
Yeah, I haven't been allowed to see Ariana since the last time I saw her, where I actually got to see her, was November 27th, 2022, when I dropped stuff off to her at the residential treatment facility she was at the time.
Yeah.
And she had, for her being so scared of Daniel and I, when I showed up, you have to knock on the door because it's a secure building. And they opened the door. I had to give them what I brought so they could inspect it to make sure it was no contraband. Get out of there, Batman. Sorry, the cat's trying to escape out the window.
Yeah.
And she walked right past them, out the door, out to the car, where she climbed in the back seat to give Danny hugs and kisses and see her sisters, and reached up through the front seats and grabbed one of the 2 coffees sitting there, which just happened to be Daniel's, and she just glugged it down. She's like, they don't let me have coffee here. And he's like, thanks. Was it good? Goes, yeah. Oh no, was that one yours and not Mom's? My bad, drink Mom's.
Right. Double down, right?
You know, he won't drink mine because it was white chocolate.
Right.
He doesn't like white chocolate.
Well, I like them about the pizza. The white chocolate thing I disagree with. I love the white chocolate too. But so she's still in residential treatment?
No. So she ended up running away from that facility after having an argument with her dad and her girlfriend in treatment. She ran away to a homeless camp where she admitted they were giving her meth, marijuana, alcohol, cigarettes. And she left the homeless camp. They were hiding her from all of our search parties and the police. And the only reason she left was because one of the ladies in the homeless camp noticed that she kept squinting because she didn't take her glasses with her. So the lady gave my daughter her contacts. And my daughter put the contacts in her eyes.
Oh boy.
And got an infection. And
I knew that was coming. I knew that one was coming. Yep.
So she knew she needed medical attention. So she went back to the facility, and the facility said, well, you have to go to the emergency room. You are no longer welcome here. You broke a contract.
Right.
So I still was not allowed to see her, and I was 38 weeks pregnant with Daniel and my daughter, our first daughter, because we have 3 kids under the age of 3. So my second,
not much to do in Alaska, you know.
Well, that, and we're not really big on TV.
Right. Well, you know what? You got to do something.
Yeah. Keep warm on those long winter nights.
That's damn right. Yes, ma'am. There's nothing good on TV anyway.
Yeah, we see that on the news clips that come across. Right.
Except for this, except for our shows, obviously. So we know that you're occupied for at least this hour a night.
Yeah. So my niece got to call my ex's phone to talk to our oldest while she was in the emergency room or in the hospital while they waited for a new placement for her. And she said, sis, what is going on? And she was going off, clearly still on something about my ex, and she hated him and something going on, and then having a fight with her girlfriend in treatment. And my ex ended the call, and she was not allowed to call back. The guardian ad litem told the facility I was not allowed any information. Any information I got needed to come straight from the police or from my ex-husband. So I knew nothing until literally I called APD to ask, is there any update on my daughter? Here is the case number. I'm like, oh yeah, she's been retrieved. Anything else? Like, anything else you're going to have to get from the other parent? So message him. And he's minimal with contact.
Right.
And then it was all of a sudden my fault that she ran away. And I'm like, I haven't even been allowed to see her in 7 months.
I know. I was just going to say, don't they see the damage that they're doing to your daughter? Like, don't they see what they're doing? Like, what's going on here?
Because it gets worse.
Yeah. She went to another treatment facility called North Star. And they are known to be bad and known to be abusive. And they blocked me from having any contact. I got to have one family therapy session, and it was going fine until she lost her mind and she pushed back from the table and she started screaming and yelling. And okay. And now that she's out of residential treatment, she no longer wants to be a she wants to be a boy.
Oh my Christ.
And because I'm not giving into the psychobabble bullshit, I'm the problem. I'm like, no, you guys are causing significant damage. Not me.
Right.
You have medically kidnapped my kid. Because that's what it is. My daughter was in residential treatment, and you blocked me from any contact whatsoever. And I've been I've gone back to court 3 times now for medical records that are being used against me in court, so I'm not allowed to have them. The records that I do have are laced full of horrendous lies from my ex-husband that make me sound like this drugged out lunatic.
Wow.
Like, our daughters were in 2 different co-ops. They were in 2 different farm shares. They each had their own extracurricular activities. They had their Wednesday youth group activities. Then they had their scouts every single Saturday. Like, we were a constant go, 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 go because of them and their schedules.
Yeah.
Please tell me when I'm going to have time to be like, I can tell you, when I did get to go toke was literally so I could go to bed after they were asleep.
Right. Which was probably midnight by the sounds of the amount of kids that you have to deal with at bedtime.
Yep. And so it's like literally they're all tucked away and okay, now we can unwind and have a bowl.
Right.
But we're both adults in a legal state.
In a legal state. So what's the problem? Right.
Yep. And you know, Daniel has his second brain tumor, so it's literally functional medicine.
Right.
And so I supplied the receipts and everything for the guardian ad litem because she's insisting that, oh no, Ariana was still given marijuana. I'm like, what is the combination to my bag? Daniel doesn't know it because Daniel doesn't give himself medication, even flour.
Did they drug test her?
She's never been able to tell me what the combination is.
Right. So she has no clue. So she can't even get into your bag. But did they drug test her?
Yeah. She had stuff in her system. So my ex-husband's wife also uses marijuana and makes a lot of edibles. That was one of my oldest would come back all the time going, oh my gosh, she made green Jello. And I mean, it was green. You could smell it. I'm like, well, don't eat the green Jello. Okay.
Right. She did, obviously. Don't touch that. It's delicious and yummy and make you see funny things, but don't touch it.
Right. I'm like, yeah, there's no way she could get the stuff. I'm like, the only thing she could have gotten a hold of at our house would be CBD from Lazarus Naturals, which is a company out of Oregon. It's a veteran-owned company. No, I don't work for them. No, I don't sponsor them. But they're who I get my CBD from. And I said, even if she did take the entire bottle, of that
Wouldn't
CBD.
do it, right?
There's no THC in it. I mean, aside from a massive case of diarrhea because of all the oil,
Right, that'd be
she
it,
might sleep,
right?
but she's not gonna be high in any way.
Right.
So it's been a fun shit show.
Sounds crazy. Sounds like it sucks. It sounds like it sucks because this guy just made up a situation and took it way too far, and now you're just sitting there with a broken heart.
Yep.
You know, and missing your kids. That's what it is, and that's the abusers do that. And
I haven't seen.
he's getting his rocks off by being able to do this. He's not trying to help those kids. He's just wanting to piss you off.
No, he hated that my 2 youngest daughters called Daniel daddy.
Yeah.
And my oldest referred to him as her bonus dad. She did not call him dad, but she's like, yeah, this is my bonus dad.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not fair. It's not fair that they can do that. And then it's not fair that they, take their side, because he's the one that went first, most likely. So he was the one that made the complaints. So he's the one that's the good person, but there was really no complaints to be made other than the fact that your daughter was going crazy. And the only reason she's probably flipping out is because he was filling her head full of shit.
Excuse me. Well, he has this tendency to, he's an alcoholic.
Yeah. So he
very
runs his mouth
abusive.
pretty good.
Oh yeah. He will definitely get that. Well, I want to talk at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, I just want to sleep. And she came back so many times going, I didn't have my phone because she got in trouble. So she didn't get her phone because I'm sorry, a phone is a privilege.
Yeah.
So she didn't have her phone. So I got questioned for 3 hours. I'm sorry. If you make better choices, like do your chores and your schoolwork,
Right, you can have your phone.
the only person standing in the way of you having your phone is literally you.
Right. Yeah.
You have schoolwork to do because I have grades to turn in. I have work samples to turn in.
Yeah.
I can't turn those in
If you don't do your work.
You're not doing them.
Right.
I don't have samples to turn in. So what are you doing? Because I can turn in pictures of you cooking. I can turn in pictures of you doing judo. I can turn in pictures of you doing gymnastics. Those things I can do. But you're reading, writing, arithmetic. I got to actually turn in paperwork. It's part of life there, sis.
Yeah. You want something, you got to work for it. That's it. So, so you're a bad person because you held your kids to a level of responsibility, and that's it.
Yep.
That's terrible. So where are you at now? Where does this all stand now? Just over? Your kids?
Nope, we're still in interim. We're still in interim. I'm still waiting to hear back for motion for contempt because I am court ordered 3 video calls every single week. So I filed motion to show cause. They have not responded to motion to show cause, so I filed motion for contempt. Sorry.
Yeah.
My head shrinker says, don't forget about the, I've been through 2 mental health evaluations. And last time I was in court at the last hearing, I was court ordered a psychological evaluation where my ex-husband is to have the opportunity to corroborate with the psychologist. And so is the GAL supposed to have the opportunity to corroborate with the psychologist.
For what?
To say that you're lying.
Yeah, to be able to say that I'm lying. And I've been trying to get another hearing because they're not providing the medical records. I'm not getting my visitations. Like, he canceled my last visitation. My ex-husband canceled my last visitation. And then I haven't been able to have my phone calls.
He clearly doesn't.
Sorry?
I said he clearly doesn't want you talking to the kids to get them to sway over and miss you, and you get those, because those kids probably do miss you. They miss you probably tremendously. but
Oh
they
yeah.
have that, they don't want to upset him, and then they don't want to upset him because they probably don't want to hear him, like you said, he's drunk, want to talk all night long, and this, that, and this. So they don't want to deal with that. So they have to appease him, and it's just a shitty situation for a kid to be in. They shouldn't be in that situation.
Yep. Well, and so we're court ordered communication through third party app, which I'm fine with. Accountability, right? Well, the only free one is called App Close that we found, and it does not allow you to record the audio for video calls or calls at all. So every time I've had an issue, like him screaming at them in the background,
it doesn't
him
work.
cussing me out in the background, him telling them you need to hurry up your call because I can't stand the sound of your mother's voice. I can tell them till I'm blue in the face, but without that recording.
Why don't you record the call? Can you just record it secondary off or something?
We've tried, and they said that they couldn't get the files to play. And the calls constantly drop through that app. So I was like, okay, well, if there's going to constantly be issues, we're going to use Talking Parents. It has a 30-day free trial. Well, it's a 30-day free trial, but then it's $20-something a month. Plus, you have to pay for the calls after the first 120 minutes. And so he flipped out. And that's when, nope, I'm not paying anything for it. Look, App Close isn't working. And you should want the accountability. You keep claiming that I'm doing all this bad crap.
Right.
You should want the accountability, because Talking Parents has the accountable calling where they do record audio and video.
But he doesn't want that. He doesn't want to have that. Absolutely not. Man, what a conundrum. Do you have a lawyer?
Nope. We've gone through 2. We've become homeless. We spent 6 months homeless with Danny while I was pregnant with Carol Ann. And now we're in a motorhome because rent rates in Alaska are ridiculous. I'm sorry, I do not know anyone who can reasonably afford $2,000+ for a 3-bedroom house plus utilities. So we bought a motorhome, and we're at a park where we have all the things. And then in the summer, I'm going to go back to being a volunteer camp host for the state parks because that's something I enjoy doing.
Right, and you guys can just stay there wherever. And that's
so we have our spot. We get a small stipend. It's not much, but it covers having to go dump our tanks and refill our propane. And we get to walk around the park and make sure everything's clean. We get to interact with all the other campers and visitors and boaters and fishers. And there are a couple churches that do different events during the summer, so we get to see them and hang out. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a good way for your kids to be educated. That's a whole way of life. That's a way of life that your kids are never going to have anywhere else in this world, let alone, you know what I mean? Like, that's Alaska. I went there once. It's beautiful there. That's a whole different world up there. It's a whole different, it's not like walking around the woods here in Maine or any of that stuff. It's a whole different world. It's a beautiful place. The people there, a lot of them are probably full-timers too. So a lot of them probably homeschool their kids and, do stuff like that, at those places. So it's a good atmosphere to be in. And you know what? Your kids are probably miserable not being able to be involved with that. They really are. They probably are miserable with it.
Oh, they're so jealous because my 3 older girls, they were raised with the state parks being big in their lives. My grandparents, up until just a couple years ago, they owned an ice cream shop up at Aklutna, which is a state park here. And so we were constantly up at Aklutna State Park, and then we'd go get ice cream with Grandma and Grandpa after.
Oh, awesome.
We go up because Aklutna is one of the state parks where you can use your side-by-sides and 4-wheelers and dirt bikes, and they have certain days for that, and then certain days where you can ride your horses and bikes without fear of the ATVs causing an issue. Daniel got a phone call from his doctor, so I came outside.
Yeah.
They were used to that. They were used to rodeoing during the summer.
Hmm.
Because why not? They were used to
Right.
going for a week fish camp.
Hmm.
Get together with friends and say, hey, we're going to go down to Kasilof. Who's all in? Take
Right.
up an entire section of the beach to all be camping and fishing together.
Right.
It's just, they've had that all taken away from them.
Yep.
And they miss it. They tell me regularly when I do get to talk to them, they miss their gymnastics.
Right.
They miss their youth group. They miss their scouts.
They miss
They
their life.
miss their friends. They miss their family. Yeah. They just want their normal back.
Hmm.
And all I can do is say, I'm trying. I'm
Right.
trying.
Yeah, it's hard when they're in a situation when you have an abuser that is sitting there in their ear constantly going bam, 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 bam. It's very
Yep.
hard. It's hard to get them, and slowly they're getting brainwashed into that. Like they're getting their emotions and everything turned around, and they don't even realize it. And that's not good for a little kid.
Yep.
Not good for a little kid at all.
No, they miss it. Why should they have to miss out on everything?
Hmm. You don't get time back at all.
Nope.
Time doesn't come back. But
And
you got
see,
this
tomorrow.
right. You got a whole bunch of people here that are willing to help you, or whatever way, if anybody can. We're all here for you for sure. So you have that. And that's
No
why
parent should have
this.
to not be allowed to have their traditions, and no parent should have to watch one of their children on a video chat, write them a note asking if they're still fighting for them,
Yeah.
because they're afraid to voice it out loud because they'll get in trouble. And then when you say, yeah, of course, unless you don't want me to, and they're going, no, I do, I really do.
Yeah.
And then watch their child eat that note. Literally eat that note.
So they don't
Baby,
get in
please
trouble.
don't eat paper. Please don't eat paper. Baby, please don't. I can't get punished if they can't find it.
Right. Wow.
No 9-year-old should be going through that.
No. Not
And
at
then the
all.
psychological damage from telling the younger sisters that your older sister is no longer a girl. She is now your brother.
Right.
No, it doesn't work that way.
She's so confused right now. She doesn't obviously, and that's clear. That's very clear.
Nope. It's hard enough being a teenager going through all the hormonal changes and all the responsibility changes and trying to figure out, because you're not a kid, but you're not an adult, but you're just in that weird funky stage.
Yeah.
And then to have everything else just be chaotic, that's not fair.
Nope. Absolutely not. Oh,
So,
that's awful. Oh, well, Athena, we've reached our time. Thank you so much for telling us about your story, because you know what, we see you all the time on here, and I know we've talked before, but nobody else knows what your story is, and now we do know. And now I hope that people that are watching and listening listen to this. Maybe there's someone out there that can help you out with this. I know, because I know Spanny's up there in Alaska, but there's got someone here that can help you out with this stuff.
yeah,
And I would.
Annie tomorrow.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
We're going to go to town together. So.
Oh, good. So hopefully there's more of that can help you. And you know what? I think anytime that Tiff's out, you should join me.
Anytime. Daniel says anytime too, when he's not on the phone with the doctor.
Right. No, let's do that. Let's plan on that. So anytime Tiff's out from now on, you guys step in.
We're okay with that.
All right. Cool. All right, Athena, we're going to close this one out. Another one for the books. All right. Thank you so much. And we'll be talking soon. And thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. Everybody, keep your ears out for anything that you guys can do to help Athena out with. I'm sure she would appreciate it. Make sure you reach out to her, help her out, because she needs all of us just as much as we need her. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, and we are out of here.
Punisher, they won't back down, screaming out loud in every town. Stand against the system that's gone insane, fighting like lions, don't feel no pain. Abolish CPS, their rally cry. No kids for cash, we won't comply. Make parenting great, let's take a stand. Tiff and the Punisher, hand in hand. Voices heard, don't tread on me. Taking back rights, we will be free. Constitution in our veins.
Pedro, you're always welcome, and you know that. Have a good night, everybody. Stay tuned, 10 o'clock. CPS Victims Hunting Justice coming at you. Vinny's got a lot he wants to say. Stealing kids, they gotta go. Fight the good fight, let everybody know. We'll raise our fists and say aloud, no more silence, join the crowd. Abolish CPS, their rally cry. No kids for cash, we won't comply.